Leo, welcome back to the channel and to your reading. Take a gentle breath and allow yourself to arrive fully in this moment. For the next few minutes, we're going to tune into your energy, into what may be unfolding for you in the coming hours and the next few days. Together, we're opening a space to connect with your guides and with the angels who are always quietly working behind the scenes of your life. There is a message coming through for you now, Leo, a sign, almost like a small beam of light shining through the clouds. It's a moment of illumination offered by your spiritual guides. As always with these readings, take what resonates deeply within your heart and leave the rest to the universe. If you know your rising or moon sign, you may also want to explore those messages because they often add beautiful layers of insight to the main reading. As I connect with your energy, Leo, I sense that something within you is beginning to renew itself. It feels as though you've recently moved through a period that may have been emotionally turbulent, perhaps confusing, intense, or even a little chaotic. The energy around you may have felt mixed or unsettled, like a storm of emotions moving through your inner world. But now, something softer is arriving, something that brings clarity and calm. And interestingly enough, the angel that appears in your energy right now is the angel of forgiveness. Isn't it fascinating how the universe works? Many people call these moments coincidences, but spiritually speaking, coincidences rarely exist. Everything appears at the exact moment it needs to. Now, Leo, I sense that hearing the word forgiveness might stir up a reaction inside you. You might even feel resistance. Part of you could be thinking, forgiveness? That's the last thing I want to hear right now. Maybe there's someone in your life who hurt you, disappointed you, or crossed a boundary that you feel should never have been crossed. Perhaps you're still carrying anger, frustration, or a sense of injustice about what happened. And honestly, your feelings may be completely valid. Your anger may be justified. Your pain may make perfect sense. But the angel of forgiveness appears not to minimize what happened, and certainly not to excuse the actions of others. That is not the purpose of forgiveness at all. Instead, this angel comes forward because there is something inside your heart that is ready to be released. Forgiveness, in its truest form, is not about saying what you did was acceptable. It's not about pretending the wound never happened. Rather, forgiveness is about freeing yourself from the emotional weight that the experience has left behind. Right now, your guides can see that you may still be carrying a certain level of anger, resentment, or irritation. Perhaps it shows up in small ways, feeling more easily triggered, more impatient, or more sensitive to the behavior of others. It's as if a part of your heart has been holding on to the memory of what happened, replaying it again and again. But here's the deeper message your angels want you to understand. Holding on to that anger may be costing you more than you realize. Sometimes we remain angry at someone long after the moment has passed, while the other person has already moved on, forgotten, or simply doesn't carry the same emotional weight about it anymore. Meanwhile, we are the ones still holding the fire, and that fire can be exhausting. The angel of forgiveness gently reminds you that you do not have to carry pain as a response to someone else's actions. You don't have to let someone else's mistake continue to live inside your heart. What is being offered to you now, Leo, is a moment of liberation. It feels as though a storm has already passed in your life. You may have come through a difficult emotional period, especially in close relationships, perhaps with a partner, a friend, a family member, even a child. There may have been misunderstandings, hurtful words, or behaviors that left you feeling disappointed or betrayed. And when that happens, it's natural for irritation and frustration to build. You may find yourself reacting more strongly to things than usual or feeling emotionally on edge. But the energy now is shifting. Your guides are encouraging you to step into a space of calm, to recognize that the most intense part of the storm may already be behind you. The next step is simply allowing the emotional tension to dissolve so that harmony can return to your inner world. Because here is the truth. When our hearts are still vibrating in anger or resentment, it becomes very difficult for higher forms of love and connection to enter our lives. Not because we don't deserve them, but because energetically, we're still holding on to the past. Forgiveness opens the door for something new. And again, Leo, this doesn't mean you must accept someone's behavior, excuse their choices, or even allow them back into your life. Forgiveness does not require reconciliation. Sometimes forgiveness simply means saying within yourself, I release this. I choose peace over carrying this pain any longer. If you feel open to dialogue with someone involved in this situation, that could bring clarity or healing. Listening to another perspective can sometimes soften what once felt rigid or painful. But every situation is unique, and only you know whether that conversation feels right for you. The important thing is that your heart remains free. This energy of forgiveness could relate to many different areas of your life. It might involve a romantic relationship, a friendship, or a family connection. For some of you, it could even be something from the past, resurfacing now so that it can finally be released. And for others, Leo, the forgiveness needed might actually be directed toward yourself. Sometimes we carry guilt or frustration about decisions we made, consequences we experienced, or moments where we wish we had chosen differently. If that resonates, your angels want you to know that self-compassion is just as powerful as forgiving another person. Whatever the situation may be, the message is clear. Something is ready to be released so that you can move forward lighter, calmer, and more aligned with peace. Now, as we continue the reading, we'll explore what energies may be approaching you and whether they are connected to this theme of forgiveness. Remember, these readings are general, so not every detail will resonate with everyone. But if you ever feel that you would like deeper clarity about your personal situation, you always have the option of receiving a personalized reading tailored specifically to your journey. And now, Leo, let's take a look at the first card that appears for you. Leo, as we continue with the cards that have appeared, the energy becomes even more powerful and revealing. We have the Eight of Wands alongside the Knight of Pentacles, and together these cards create a very striking and meaningful picture. When we remember that the Angel of Forgiveness appeared earlier in the reading, it's impossible not to notice how these energies may be connected. There may have been a situation recently that left you feeling uncomfortable, emotionally unsettled, or even frustrated. For some of you, this situation may have been triggered by jealousy, envy, or misunderstandings coming from someone around you. Perhaps someone acted in a way that felt unfair or even deceptive, almost as if they played their cards in a way that created tension or confusion in your life without solid justification. That kind of energy can easily make anyone feel uneasy. It can bring up feelings of irritation, instability, or anger. And naturally, Leo, when you sense that someone's actions were influenced by jealousy or competition, it can stir something deep inside you. But here is where the spiritual guidance returns to the theme we saw earlier: the need to release what no longer serves your peace. Holding on to the emotional weight of someone else's envy or negativity only keeps you connected to that discomfort. It binds your energy to the very thing that disturbs you. And the truth is, Leo, your spiritual path right now is asking you to move forward, to rise above energies that try to slow you down or pull you into emotional conflict. Because what is waiting for you on the other side of that release is something truly extraordinary. Letting go of this tension, whether it's anger, fear, or resentment, opens the energetic pathway for divine opportunities that are trying to reach you. Your guides are encouraging you to free yourself from that emotional attachment so you can fully receive what is meant for you. Sometimes what holds us back is not the external situation itself, but the fear or emotional reaction we carry because of it. Releasing that fear, releasing that frustration, becomes the key that unlocks movement again. And when we look at the cards themselves, Leo, the message becomes even clearer. The Ace of Wands and the Eight of Wands are both powerful fire cards, cards that resonate deeply with your own natural element. Fire represents passion, momentum, creativity, and forward motion. It is bold, unstoppable energy. And when two fire cards appear together like this, it speaks of acceleration, motivation, and powerful new beginnings. In other words, Leo, you are not standing still anymore. Once you begin to release this emotional burden and shift your focus back towards your purpose, the energy around you starts moving very quickly. The stagnation that may have been holding you back begins to dissolve. A blockage that once felt frustrating or immovable suddenly disappears, almost as if the path clears right in front of you. It's possible that part of your recent frustration came from feeling blocked, like you wanted to move forward with something important, but circumstances or delays prevented progress. That kind of stagnation can create tension and impatience, especially for someone with your fiery spirit. But sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is step back, breathe, and redirect our attention toward other areas of life. When we calm our energy and release the pressure, the universe often surprises us by moving things into place far more quickly than we expected. And that's exactly the kind of energy the Eight of Wands brings. This card is a sign of rapid movement, messages arriving, opportunities appearing, communication coming in quickly and unexpectedly. Things that once felt delayed begin to unfold all at once. If you have been waiting for a phone call, an email, a message, or any form of communication, especially related to work, creativity, or a personal connection, there is a strong possibility that something arrives soon. The Ace of Wands reinforces this energy beautifully. It represents the spark of a new beginning, something that reignites your passion and renews your life force. This is the kind of card that brings fresh motivation, inspiration, and the desire to create something meaningful. When the Ace of Wands appears in a reading, it often signals the birth of a new chapter, a moment where an idea, a dream, or a long-held desire begins to take real shape in the physical world. It reminds you that your visions are not just fantasies, they are seeds waiting to be acted upon. And once you decide to move forward with confidence, those dreams can absolutely manifest. In fact, Leo, there is a strong sense here that one of your most cherished aspirations may begin to take form during this period. Something you've hoped for, perhaps for quite some time, could start becoming real in ways that surprise you. This could relate to professional opportunities, new projects, creative collaborations, or career paths opening in front of you. It may also involve a meaningful connection with someone who wishes to build something stable and tangible with you. That's where the Knight of Pentacles enters the story. The Knight of Pentacles represents reliability, commitment, and steady progress. Unlike fast-moving or impulsive energies, this Knight moves carefully and intentionally. If this card represents a person, it could be someone who wants to build something real with you, someone grounded, practical, and sincere in their intentions. Perhaps this is someone who has been very focused on their work lately, someone who seemed distant or quiet for a while. Maybe this person disappeared for a time or simply wasn't communicating much. But now there is a possibility that they reappear, ready to express themselves or reconnect in a more meaningful way. For others, this night could represent a professional opportunity, a solid offer or project that allows you to build long-term stability. And when we combine this with the Eight of Wands, the message becomes clear. Things that once felt slow or uncertain may suddenly start moving very quickly. You might find yourself receiving multiple opportunities, messages, or responsibilities all at once. Life begins to accelerate, and several doors may open simultaneously. With so much happening at the same time, your guides offer one important piece of advice. Don't overwhelm yourself trying to do everything at once. When energy moves quickly, it can sometimes create stress or pressure because you want to respond to every opportunity immediately. But remember, Leo, you don't have to rush or force anything. Instead, focus your attention on what truly feels meaningful and aligned with your heart. Several tasks, projects, or responsibilities may demand your attention during this time, but the beautiful part is that you are more than capable of handling them. In fact, this period could reveal just how skilled, creative, and capable you truly are. Your energy is rising again. Your motivation is returning. And the path ahead is beginning to clear in ways that allow you to move forward with strength, purpose, and confidence. Something powerful is awakening within you, Leo, and the universe is responding. So, Leo, The sudden changes and unexpected developments that begin to unfold around you may not only catch you by surprise, they may surprise you in the most positive way. What first appears as a shift in the atmosphere of your life may soon reveal itself as an opportunity, a doorway opening quietly but powerfully in front of you. There is a strong sense here that you may soon receive some kind of proposal, invitation, or call to participate in something meaningful. It could be a collaboration, a project, or an offer connected to your work or personal ambitions. For some of you, it may even arrive as a message or an outreach from someone who has been thinking about you, someone who now feels ready to step forward and speak. This person, if it is a person, carries an energy of steadiness and sincerity. There is something reassuring about them, something that naturally inspires trust. They may approach you with calm confidence, not rushing, not forcing anything, but simply offering their presence in a way that feels safe and genuine. In fact, Leo, this individual might even sense that you've been going through a moment of emotional tension lately. Perhaps they can feel that you've been a little overwhelmed, frustrated, or caught in your thoughts. Because of this, they approach you carefully, with wisdom and sensitivity, almost as if they don't want to disturb your peace but rather contribute to it. Their intention may be something as simple and beautiful as wanting to bring a smile back to your face. But beyond the emotional aspect, these cards also speak strongly about opportunities connected to work, finances, or personal projects. An invitation may come forward that asks for your attention and involvement, something that could grow into a meaningful professional or financial path. And what's interesting here is that things may start happening all at once. Suddenly, multiple possibilities appear. Messages come in, tasks multiply. Opportunities seem to arrive almost simultaneously, moving quickly and demanding your focus. And right in the middle of all this movement appears the Knight of Pentacles. When the Knight of Pentacles enters a reading, it is rarely by accident. This card represents someone or something that brings grounded energy into the situation. While the fire of the Ace and Eight of Wands creates passion, momentum, and rapid movement, the Knight of Pentacles provides balance. It reminds you to stay steady, to keep your feet firmly planted on the earth, and to move forward with care and intention. Your attention may naturally be drawn toward the offer or proposal this knight represents. Whether it's a person bringing an idea, a business opportunity, or even a partnership, the energy surrounding it feels solid, reliable, and transparent. This is not the kind of opportunity built on illusions or empty promises. Instead, it carries a sense of stability and long-term potential. The person behind the proposal, or the opportunity itself, seems to understand the value of patience, structure, and responsibility. And they may also recognize something about you, Leo. If you commit your energy and focus to something, you are capable of transforming it into real success. This opportunity could bring financial growth, personal expansion, or the chance to develop something that becomes an important part of your future. It might even allow you to strengthen or expand your own business, improve your professional path, or refine the talents you already possess. Now, if this energy represents someone with romantic interest in you, the story becomes even more intriguing. This person may approach you very differently from how they did in the past. Their energy feels more mature now, more grounded, more certain about what they want. If this is someone returning to your life, they may once have seemed unstable, uncertain, or unsure of their direction. But something has changed. Where there may once have been hesitation, there is now clarity. Where there may once have been inconsistency, there is now intention. This person may approach you with a more concrete proposal, something thoughtful, something genuine, something that shows they are no longer acting impulsively, but rather with real consideration for what they want to build. And what's fascinating here, Leo, is that amidst the whirlwind of opportunities and choices appearing around you, this person might have a grounding effect on you. While everything else moves quickly and demands your attention, their presence may calm you, center you, and even make you smile. You may find yourself interacting with them from a deeper emotional place, slowly rediscovering the warmth of connection. Their energy is quieter, more composed than what you might normally be used to. They are not someone who rushes into things or acts carelessly. In fact, they dislike making mistakes, which is why they tend to move cautiously and deliberately. But here's where things become interesting. Because while the Knight of Pentacles is naturally calm and methodical, the presence of the Ace of Wands and the Eight of Wands introduces a powerful spark of passion into the equation. And when fire meets stability, something remarkable can happen. Even someone who usually moves slowly may suddenly feel a surge of emotion, inspiration, or attraction that surprises them. The passion represented by those fire cards could ignite quickly, bringing excitement and intensity into a connection that at first seemed calm and controlled. In other words, Leo, what begins quietly may eventually burst into something far more vibrant. Now, as we move further into the reading, the message becomes even more extraordinary. The Nine of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords appear together, an incredibly powerful combination. Leo, prepare yourself, because earlier in the reading there was a strong indication that one of your deepest wishes might be coming true, and these cards confirm it. The Nine of Cups is often called the card of wish fulfillment. It represents a moment when something you have long hoped for finally becomes real. A dream you carried in your heart, perhaps quietly, perhaps patiently, begins to manifest in the physical world. And alongside it stands the Ace of Pentacles, a symbol of a brand new opportunity in the material realm. This could represent financial growth, a new job, a successful project, or the foundation of something that will bring long-term stability and prosperity into your life. But perhaps the most beautiful part of this message is that it feels like a reward. A reward for your perseverance. A reward for the effort, the patience, and even the emotional struggles you have endured along the way. There may have been moments when you felt discouraged, moments when the path seemed uncertain or heavy, but the energy here suggests that your efforts have not been in vain. Life is beginning to return something to you. You may soon look back and realize how much you've gained through your experiences. The challenges you faced, the lessons you learned, even the pain you endured, all of it shaped you into someone stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what comes next. It may feel almost like standing in front of a collection of personal trophies, not literal trophies perhaps, but symbols of everything you've overcome and achieved. You might find yourself thinking, I've been through so much, but it was worth it. Because now you feel different, more secure, more calm, more confident in your ability to receive whatever life places in front of you. And with the powerful energy of the Queen of Swords present, there is also a sense of clarity. You are no longer approaching life from confusion or emotional turmoil. Instead, you see things clearly now. You understand your value, your boundaries, and your direction. That clarity allows you to recognize opportunities when they appear and to choose them wisely. And believe me, Leo, the opportunities symbolized by these cards are not the kind you will want to overlook. The fiery momentum of the Wands, the stability of the Pentacles, and the fulfillment of the Nine of Cups together suggest that something significant is unfolding for you. A wish you've carried in your heart may be closer to reality than you realize. And the success you're beginning to see is only the beginning. When you look at the energy of these cards together, there is a powerful sense of achievement surrounding you. It's the kind of energy that speaks of a victory that has been earned not through luck alone, but through growth, perseverance, and the courage to face your own emotional journey. What I see here is not only external success, but also the quiet arrival of emotional fulfillment. It feels like the moment after a storm has finally passed, when the air becomes calm again and you can breathe freely. After a period of emotional rupture, perhaps connected to a relationship, a disappointment, or something from your past, you are now reaching a place of healing and inner balance. In many ways, Leo, this energy suggests that you are not only forgiving others, and you are also forgiving yourself. There may have been old wounds buried deep within you, feelings you didn't fully acknowledge before, memories or experiences that remained hidden beneath the surface of your everyday life. But recently, you've begun to face those emotions honestly. Instead of avoiding them, you've taken responsibility for your own healing. And that takes tremendous strength. As I mentioned earlier in the reading, A heart that holds on to resentment cannot fully open itself to genuine connection. True love, true partnership, and true harmony require a certain emotional freedom. They require space within the soul, and that is exactly the work you are doing right now. You are clearing out the past. You are releasing old pain. You are allowing yourself to step forward without the emotional chains that once held you back. And because you are doing this inner work so sincerely, the universe is responding in a very tangible way. Your efforts are being rewarded. This is where the Ace of Pentacles becomes especially significant. This card often arrives when something you have deeply desired or genuinely needed is finally being placed in your hands. It represents a doorway opening in the material world, bringing opportunities for growth, prosperity, and stability. And what makes this moment even more powerful is the presence of two aces in your reading. You have the Ace of Wands, which ignites passion, inspiration, and forward movement. It's the spark that pushes you toward action and reminds you that you have the power to create something new. Then you have the Ace of Pentacles, which grounds that energy in reality. It transforms inspiration into something tangible, something you can build, nurture, and grow over time. When these two energies come together, Leo, they create the perfect balance between vision and manifestation. This means that something you've been hoping for may not remain just an idea or a dream. It has the potential to become real, very real, and possibly sooner than you expect. That is why the blockages we saw earlier begin to dissolve. The moment you release emotional weight and open yourself to renewal, the path ahead clears. You suddenly find yourself ready to embrace new beginnings with a sense of courage and purpose. And what arrives through the Ace of Pentacles could represent a dramatic improvement in your material life. This could come in many forms. It may be a job offer, a financial proposal, a salary increase, or the chance to participate in a project that brings long-term prosperity. For some of you, it could even represent the opportunity to build a more abundant and stable lifestyle, something you've been working toward for quite some time. There is a strong feeling here that you may soon reach a moment where you look at what you've achieved and feel a deep sense of pride, almost like holding a trophy in your hands. Not because the path was easy, but because you persevered. The Nine of Cups reinforces this beautifully. This is the card of wish fulfillment. It's the moment when you look around at your life and realize that something you once hoped for has finally come to fruition. You may find yourself reflecting on everything you've been through, thinking, I went through so much, but it was worth it. And with that realization comes a sense of calm confidence. You feel more secure, more grounded, more prepared to accept the opportunities that life is offering you now. But there is also an important piece of guidance present in your reading, and it comes through the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords represents clarity of mind. While your emotional world may be reaching fulfillment and your ambitions are beginning to manifest, this Queen reminds you to stay mentally sharp and discerning. She invites you to approach your situation with honesty, logic, and self-respect. Yes, your wishes are coming true. Yes, opportunities are appearing. But the Queen of Swords encourages you to remain objective and realistic when making decisions. She reminds you not to be guided by emotions alone, but to balance your heart with wisdom and clear thinking. This energy suggests that you may soon find yourself having an important conversation with someone. Perhaps you need to address a misunderstanding or finally bring closure to a situation that once caused you anger or disappointment. And if that moment comes, you will handle it differently than before. Instead of reacting emotionally, you will approach the situation with calm clarity. You may say what needs to be said, express your truth honestly, and then release the weight of that experience completely. You might reach a point where you simply say to yourself, everything is clear now. I understand what happened. I release the anger. I release the pain. And now I move forward. In that moment, Leo, you reclaim your independence not only from that emotional wound, but from anything that once made you feel powerless or dependent. The Queen of Swords is also deeply connected to fairness and justice. You are seeking what is right for you, but you are also guided by integrity. You are not acting from revenge or bitterness. Instead, you are acting from truth and self-respect. It is as though you are living the deeper meaning of justice in your own life, setting boundaries, recognizing your worth, and ensuring that the truth becomes visible in every situation. For some of you, this energy could even relate to legal matters or official processes. The Queen of Swords sometimes represents professional assistance, perhaps from someone working in law, administration, or documentation. There may be contracts, agreements, or decisions that finally move forward after a period of delay. The Eight of Wands again suggests that things may progress quickly. In the coming days or weeks, you may find yourself signing important documents, reviewing agreements, or finalizing arrangements connected to work, housing, or financial stability. Some of you may even be preparing for a move, a relocation, or a change in your living situation. If that resonates, it could be because you are finally gaining the resources you once lacked, the financial support, the opportunity, or the stability needed to make the change you've been planning. And here again, the Queen of Swords appears not only as a symbol of clarity, but also as a form of guidance and protection. Because toward the end of this reading, there is another powerful presence entering your energy, Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael is known as a protector, a guardian of truth, and a defender of spiritual light. His energy appears when you need strength, courage, and protection from negativity. And his message to you is deeply comforting. He reminds you that when the weight of the world feels overwhelming, you are not alone. His presence surrounds you, offering strength in moments of chaos, and reminding you that inner peace is one of your greatest forms of power. Even when life feels like an endless battle, you are supported by divine protection. Archangel Michael invites you to call upon him whenever you feel uncertain or emotionally burdened. His energy helps restore balance, calm the mind, and renew the spirit. In many ways, his presence also strengthens the energy of the Queen of Swords. Together, they represent the power to cut through illusions, remove negativity, and protect yourself from those who may try to bring darkness or confusion into your life. Imagine it, Leo, a shield of divine protection surrounding you, and a sword of truth placed in your hands. With this protection, you are able to release what no longer belongs in your life, whether it is toxic energy, harmful influences, or emotional attachments that no longer serve your highest good. So trust the process that is unfolding. Trust that the universe is guiding you towards something better. Because the message that echoes throughout this entire reading is clear. Abundance is approaching, prosperity is unfolding, and a dream that lives within your heart is moving closer to reality. And, Leo, it is meant for you.